Now it's about time we get into our combo video for our branded Predaplant Despia build. We're going to give this a good shuffle. And now with this deck, we put up a couple negates and a banish with Mirror Jade, with a Trachocepelia, with a Predaplanting, meaning every monster on the field gets a predator counter, meaning all monsters on the field will be negated. And we'll do one of these. You always want to do one of these just so you do get a good mix and no cards are close by each other. One more quick shuffle. And now we'll cut and we'll get started. 5 card combos. Orthoscorpio, a second, Oliver, Bibelisp, and another Bibelisp. Poof, that was a terrible shuffle, I guess. So we will begin by normal summoning Orthoscorpio effect, discarding Bibelisp. Summoning out from our deck Chlamydia Sundew. Now Chlamydia Sundew will allow us to fuse, and since Bibelisp was sent to the graveyard, he will allow us to get a Predaplant card from deck to hand. So we will chain 1, chain 2, so we chain block our fusion. So we will add a Predaplant card monster to hand. We will add Buffuliculi, and then we will now be able to fusion summon using Chlamydia Sundew and Orthoscorpio into our level 5 Predaplant. We will activate the effect. It allows us to get a Predaplant card from deck to hand, or Preda spell or trap. We will add Predaplanting to hand. His second effect, activate it, tributes himself or a Predaplant monster to special summon one from deck. We will special summon Darlingtonian Cobra, and effective Darlingtonian Cobra, when it's special summoned, you get to add a fusion spell card from deck to hand, adding branded fusion. Now we will activate the effect of branded fusion. Fusion summoning from deck, we will send our Fallen Valbaz and our Porformer Pal Corn. Now I'm not sending Stay Sailor since we did use the effect of Bibelisp this turn. It isn't gonna help, so we will send Porformer Pal Corn just in case we are able to go into our Porformer Pal monster. With these two, we will fusion out our Albion. Now we will activate the effect of Albion. Fusion summoning by banishing cards. We will banish our Fallen Valbaz and Predaplant fusion monster to fusion summon into Lubellion. The effect of Lubellion, allowing us to fuse by discarding one card. We will discard Orthoscorpio, then shuffling back in our Predaplant monster and our Fallen Valbaz into deck to bring out Mirror Jade. And now we will activate our Predaplant Buffuliculi into our Pendulum Scale, activating its effect in the scale to fusion summon from cards from our deck, from our hand or field, fusion summoning out Darlingtonian Cobra and Albion, bringing out our Draco's Depelia. Now we will set one, and then move into our end phase, and then Albion's effect during the end phase to get a card from our deck, which is a branded Speller Trap. And we would directly set our branded banishment. Now we have, for our opponent's turn, we have a banish, a quick effect negate, and then our Predaplanting, which will allow us to put a counter on each monster on the field and their effects will be negated. And then our branded banishment. Our branded banishment will allow us to bring Albion back, and then able to fusion summon into, if we don't have our opponent have any monsters on field, can fusion these two into our Starving Venom Predapower Fusion Dragon. So as the first combo, it's our most generic. We end off with a banish, a negate, multiple negates I guess you could say, and then a branded banishment as well to fuse. And we'll give it another shuffle for our second combo here. Cut it. And we will draw 5. We have Super Poly, Branded Fusion, Predaplant Biblisp, Instant Fusion, Stay Sailor, and if we were going second, we'd have Effect Veiler as well. So this is going second. So we do have the combo of Mirror Jade just here. We would probably bait by activating Instant Fusion. Well, let's say we were going first and we didn't have the Effect Veiler. So we would activate Instant Fusion, bringing out our Predaplant Fusion monster, the effect. Predaplanting, and then its secondary effect, tributing a Predaplant monster. We will choose to tribute itself. Special summoning out our one of Darlingtonian Cobra, effective Darlingtonian Cobra, and since we do control, or since we do have Super Poly and Branded Fusion, this is why we run the one polymerization. Add polymerization to him, where you can now activate the effect of Branded Fusion. Once again, fusion summoning from our deck, we will send Fallen Valbaz and our oh, we do control Stay Sailor in hand. So I will send 2 Grave Performapal Horn once again, bringing out our Libellion, our Albion, and then effect of Albion to banish our Fallen Valbaz and our Predaplant Fusion to bring out our Libellion. We will activate the effect of Libellion, discarding our Biblisp to fusion summon by returning our Predaplant Fusion monster and our Fallen Valbaz into, once again, our Mirror Jade. We will activate the effect of Biblisp since it was sent to the grave, adding a Predaplant monster to hand. we can add our Chlamydia Sundew, since we have not yet normal summoned. Now, we have many ways we can play this. We have our Predaplanting. Of course, we'll set our Predaplanting. Normal summoning our Chlamydia Sundew effect to fuse. We will fuse these two into our Dracostopelia. This is now where we can activate the effect of polymerization. Going into no, we won't activate the effect. We will set our super poly, and we have pass turn here. Once again, we have our banish, our negate, double negate, or during the end phase, we can activate the effect of Albion, engrave, setting branded banishment, another fusion during my opponent's turn with our Predaplanting, banishment, and super poly. Of course, banish our branded banishment, bringing out Libellion, allowing us to fuse once more. Our Predaplanting, negating the effects of our opponent by Dracostopelia, and then our super poly, getting rid of our opponents. We would have to discard one, so we would discard Stay Sailor. That would also allow us to fuse using our opponent's monsters, and then Sailor would get her effect, bringing out Biblisc, and then getting another Predaplant counter, another Predaplant monster from our deck. We will go into one more combo with this deck. Hopefully we get a God Hand, because we have been able to bring out many of our big boss monsters, like our Masquerade, making our opponent pay 600 for each effect they activate. So our shuffles. Alright, we will cut it. Draw 5. Orthoscorpio. Darlingtonia Cobra, which is not a good sign to see. You never want to see another Orthoscorpio. Albion and Chlamydia Sundew. This is not good. Not a good hand whatsoever. We never want to see Darlingtonia Cobra. We don't want to see 2 Orthoscorpios. And we probably wouldn't want to see our Chlamydia Sundew either. We will have 2 normal summon, since we can't use our Predaplant start because we have Cobra in hand. So effect of Oliver, bringing out or getting branded fusion, effect of branded fusion, sending Performance Pal Corn. We'll send Stay Sailor instead. It'll get us another fusion out on field, which is not the worst. To fusion summon into our Albion, effect of Albion, banishing our Fallen of Albaz and our Darlingtonia Cobra, since we aren't going to need it, to fusion into, once again, Libellion. We will activate the effect of Stay Sailor, since it was sent to the graveyard. Add a plant, send it to the graveyard. We will send Biblisp. We will activate the effect of Libellion, discarding Orthoscorpio, and then we would chain the effect of Biblisp. So Biblisp will give us a Predaplant card, which we will add Buffuliculi, and then we will fusion by returning a Fallen of Albaz to deck and our Libellion. Fusion summoning into Masquerade. And then I will activate our Buffy Liquideye in the scale to fusion summon. We will do Oliver and our Albion into the first time this our Masquerade, making your opponent pay 600 for each effect they activate. Then we will move into the end phase of end phase Albion. Albion will get us into our branded banishment. So we did take a little bit of a different route, not getting able to get our Draco Sepelia on board, but that is okay. They are going to be taxed 600 for each effect they activate, and this wasn't one of the best hands we could have had, unfortunately. But that is going to be the video for our Predaplant, branded Predaplant combos that we have with this deck. I'm still working on ratios, and I will come up with an update for this deck. Overall, this deck is very fun to play. You just need to be able to get the right ratios for your deck. I do recommend the Predaplant version of the deck. You get your Draco Sepelia, it's a quick effect negate. And with Predaplanting, you actually will affect all monsters on field. So you do have to wisely use your Mirror Jade's effect before your effect of Draco Sepelia so that you don't negate its own effects. Overall, this deck is very quick based. It's going to get you big monsters on board with negates so you can OTK your opponent turn 2, turn 3 if you need it. It's very quick. And that's all I have to say for this deck. It's just an amazing deck that I've been working on for a while now. And I will have to update the deck profile because it is a little bit of a brick over time. You're going to see a lot of cards you don't want to see in hand because we run a lot of one-ofs, and it's probably not the best idea to run a bunch of one-ofs in this deck. But that's the video. Thanks for watching.